Good morning, cult members, and welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
Look, I did the intro right. Yay! A Hakuma Atara, bitches. This is going to be our... I'm not going to worry about saying spoiler, non-spoiler, or whatever. It's Lion King. Because it's the same movie.
Yeah, I mean...
For the most part.
Yeah, we were discussing it on the way home after seeing it last night, and it's been a while since we've seen the cartoon version. But yeah, it felt pretty much the same with some tweaks for the actors for their individual characters.
Right, right. And I was really actually okay with what they did and stuff.
Yeah.
We have no emotional connection to the first one.
Right.
And we were also talking about it last night too. It's been a really long time since both of us have actually seen the original. And so we knew plot points and we knew songs and that kind of stuff, but we weren't like emotionally connected to the original. And I think that maybe that gave us a little bit different perspective on the movie than maybe some of those who, you know, are super into the, you know, the cartoon. Well,
I think that's been
animated.
The problem, the challenge that Disney has faced with going live action on all these beloved cartoon movies that people who were kids when those movies came out have an emotional connection, and if they make one slight little change, they've lost their shit.
It's the worst thing ever. Okay, just we're having this discussion right now with Fantastic Beasts and how they're changing the entire timeline of everything. Let the story tell. It's JK knows what she's doing. But I think for what this movie, what the original movie was and what it is now, I think it's actually a really good reimagining of the same story.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, if the original one was like on TV or something, we wouldn't watch it. I mean, us now, we wouldn't watch. I mean, unless the grandkids were over or something.
Right.
But this was, I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We talked about it in our Stardust review last night that for 95% of the movie, I had to, in the back of my head, had to keep telling myself, they're not real. That's not a real lion. That's not a real monkey. That's not real. It's all CGI'd. And it's impossible for me to fathom what went into them making this movie.
Yeah. Well, and they couldn't have, you know, even probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
I kept thinking, how long did it take them to make this? Because it's what
I want to say like 3 years.
Yeah, that would make sense because it's like an hour and 4. It's short of 2 hours, right?
Right.
But just, you know, everything. And I think that maybe the backgrounds were real, like real shots out of Africa. Because water. Remember we talked about this with the Abominable Snowman or the it was
Missing Link
claymation, and how amazing the water was and how hard that is to do. And there's a lot of water in this and a lot of sunrises and sunsets and trees and all that. So I kind of felt like that was real scenes, and then they
if it wasn't, then it's freaking impressive.
Yeah, because it was photographic.
Yeah,
real.
Yeah. There was multiple times where they would do a close-up on a monkey or the running when Simba and Lala are running with the zebras that they they're inside the legs of the zebras and the fur on the zebras are flapping with, and it was just like in the mane when Simba gets older and Mufasa's manes, the mane itself, all the individual hairs falling and turning and stuff,
and the eyes.
And the eyes.
Eyes have always been hard. I think I've heard that animals' eyes are easier.
Yeah, because they don't have as much emotion in them.
Yeah, and it might be just we're used to looking at other humans' eyes all the time. We're not necessarily used
That's
to
part of
looking
the
at
uncanny
people.
valley thing that I understand what they're talking about, but it's not a huge problem for me because I love the technology that they're doing to make this stuff happen. And so, like, Rogue One is one of my favorite movies, and what they did with Peter Cushing and Carrie Fisher in that movie was super impressive. But I could tell the difference between the two.
Oh, yeah.
This I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
The lion is fucking real. And it's talking to me. My brain is having a hard time with this. But I think a couple of like small critiques, at least from my point of view, is there's a couple times when there's fight scenes or they're running, you can kind of tell that animation is a little off. It's very subtle, but I was specifically looking for it because my brain was still having a hard time with this is not real. And then the other thing is the lack of emotion in the faces. The faces were very, I won't say plastic, but there was not a whole lot of emotion in the face, and so
but they're animals.
That's true.
And the only thing you're actually seeing is their mouths moving, and then kind of the emotion, I guess, in their eyes.
Yeah, I didn't even in the eyes. I didn't see the emotion I was thinking that I think that I was wanting. I think is what it was coming down to.
I wonder though if that would have made it very odd. It's already odd enough that animals are talking, right?
Fair.
But their mouths are moving and animals' mouths move. So if they were smiling or, doing un-animal-esque things, it might have been very odd.
It would have been very odd. The one other critique that I had was the pride of the female lions. I had a really hard time distinguishing which one was which.
Yeah, they all pretty much
look the same. That's a really small, dumb critique, but it is one of those things where I was like, I'd like to have just a little bit of differentiation, especially when everybody was gotten older. The difference between Scar and Mufasa and Simba was very obvious because he's Scar. So that was kind of cool. Do you have any other critiques maybe of?
No, I think you,
cover the ones because we talked about it last night, so we're kind of on the
on the same page with that.
Page.
For the stuff that I appreciated, Seth Rogen's character, Timba, I don't remember which one. He's the warthog. The warthog. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Kumba and Timba. Anyway, was funny. He, not like overly funny, but there was a scene where, was it in the jungle when they did, or The Lion Speaks Tonight, or whatever the name of that song is, where they were singing, was it that song? And they're running along. Simba is a cub, and by the end of the song, Simba is...
It's Kuma.
Is it
Kuma
Matata? And by the end of the song, he's an adult-ish, and he even makes a comment about, you've grown 400 pounds in the length of this song.
Right.
Which was,
very meta. Very meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John Oliver as the puffin, I guess is what he is. They call him a dodo bird. I'm pretty sure he's not a dodo bird. They call him a puffin. Was
the Herald.
The Herald.
I kept calling him the Herald.
He was awesome. Very British.
Very British. I love the line for king and country when he goes sweeping down into the...
Very British.
I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect. Let's talk about the songs just for a second before we get a score. All of the songs we know because they're pretty much everywhere. It was very hard for me not to spring my arms up at the beginning.
Jalapeno!
I actually had my hands underneath my legs, and the guy next to me is giggling because I'm doing the whole... But I think this would be a really cool... We talked about this with Rocket Man, too. This would be a really cool one to go see with a group where you could actually sing along with the songs.
Yeah.
And because they're all well-known songs and that kind of stuff, it would be a lot of fun to have an interactive crowd like that. Our crowd was very quiet, except for when Scar, spoilers, when Scar falls off the ledge. there was some applause from in front of us somewhere.
Yeah. It was 6:30. There was a lot of, not a lot of kids, but
there was kids.
There was kids.
And stuff,
yeah.
But I for opening nights of movies, I really appreciate interactive crowds where they're talking to the screen and cheering for certain scenes and not and stuff like that. But I think overall, it's a well done movie. It might be in my honorable mentions probably at the end of the year just because of the technological achievement that they did.
Amazing.
The story itself, I cried when I was supposed to cry, and I was happy when I was supposed to be happy. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not a story that really grabbed me overall. And so I just think that for that, it probably won't be in my top 10 at the end.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's what's gonna happen, right? It's a story. It's been out there, so it was more for me. It was the nuance, the little changes that each of the actors brought to their character that kind of made it a little different or fresh.
Yep, I like it. So overall, we liked it. Score?
I'm gonna give it a 4 because I appreciate the technology.
I see. I'm going between a 3.75 and a 4 since we left last night, and I think I'm gonna go with a 3.75 because of the. I need to watch it again. This is because I was so enamored with the technical stuff that I was losing like the nuance of the story. And I think maybe that's why. Fuck it, I'm gonna say 4. It's a 4.
You just talked yourself out of it.
I talked myself out of it. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch. And if you're expecting the same, if you're emotionally connected to the first one, you may struggle with this.
Yeah.
And so that's
maybe.
So that's our thoughts for today on The Lion King. Let us know what you thought. Leave us a comment. Be nice. Help us out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. We're also doing a Patreon push right now, so help us out on Patreon. You can start for $1, and you can also follow us on all of our social media stuff: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All that stuff is down here in the description.
Or up here.
Or up here. I don't know where. Subscribe up here and follow the links down here and over there. I'm trying to figure out how to sing on the way out. I can't. Anyways,
Jalapeno on the Ouija board.